With the constant release of new manga due to the explosive popularity of the genre in recent years, it's become difficult to find what is and what isn't trash when looking to experience something new. For most people, including myself, the experience is to do what you were told to never do, to judge a book based on its cover. You look for a title that makes you wonder what the story can present, and you look for art that will convey that story in a pleasing way. Well, I found one, and it's called Fabricant 100. There was a doctor who tried to create the ideal human being, and in the process he created 100 fabricants, false humans who exhibit special abilities. We see a woman and a man on a train, the woman spotting a boy running off in the distance. The man compliments her on her eyesight when she says that it appears the boy is catching up to the train, only to be snatched out of the train's window, later being found with her eyes missing, setting up two important questions. The first being, who or what is this boy that caught up with the train? The second being, why were only her eyes taken? At this point, my attention was caught. I needed to know the answers to these questions. We are then introduced to our main character and what you would assume is his overbearing mother or sister on a train, eventually finding out that these two are on the same train that the girl was snatched off of in order to catch who was responsible. How are they supposed to do that when we know that whatever this boy was had the speed to catch up with a moving train? Before we get that answer, we find out that the main character, Shibi Yao, was the sole survivor from an attack on his family that left them hacked to pieces. Throughout the rest of the chapter, we are introduced to what a fabricant is and the relation between a Shibi and the overprotective woman. As far as introductions go, this was a strong first chapter that captures the mystique of the series going forward. And for a brand new mangaka on the scene, color me impressed. The dynamic between our main characters is sweet, but at the same time, you can always feel that underlying venom and impending doom underneath it. While the combat so far is relatively brief, they showcase what 100 can do against lower numbers. And with the later chapters, we are introduced to humans who are also special. We aren't at a point yet where we know exactly what's going on with that, but we can assume that some much harder battles are definitely to come. Another thing I'd like to praise about the series is that a technique similar to what Tite Kubo used in Bleach is applied here. Minimalist backgrounds in order to accentuate the character designs. Using little to no background in order to enhance what the reader should be feeling from the characters shown. If I had one complaint, it would be that the first few chapters feel very Monster of the Week-ish, but don't get me wrong. These chapters are still used very well in order to get us familiarized with the Shibi in 100. There's not a moment used that doesn't create a sense of wonder when it comes to the characters or the world. This also doesn't overstay its welcome, as we are pretty quickly introduced to what appears to be the main plot thread and a main villain. Did I mention there are only 8 chapters out? Because it's done a lot with the time it's had without feeling like it's trying to force out too much information. For example, in the most recent chapter, Shibe is pitted against someone similar to himself, but with different motives. In this, we have to see how him and 100 will overcome the situation, while staying in character in order to join an organization to move forward with the plot. It's a tense situation as 100 is trying to handle her own problem, while trying to figure out a way to continue protecting Ashibe. With so little chapters, I'm amazed by how impressed with Fabricant 100 I already am. If you want my recommendation, I'd say go ahead and pick it up and see if you like it for yourself. But if you're one of those people who need a lot of material before you pick something up so you don't have to read it week by week, I'm sorry to say that we aren't quite there yet. I will say though, with how much I'm enjoying this one, I'm hoping to help get enough eyes on it so that we never have to worry about it getting the Viz axe. But hey, this is a new type of video where I just talk about something new. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have checked out Fabricant 100, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Otherwise, peace.